Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here, UPRE, and this time we'll continue our Batman franchise, whatever you want to call it, extravaganza. Hey, you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to say. Let's just go ahead and get right into it.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
It's a trap. You're a genius.
Riddler and Two-Face can make a pretty lethal combination. Train me, let me be your partner.
Who's your tailor?
But first,
The real game begins.
Batman Forever, the third one of this franchise, one of my favorite ones, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. When we come back, it's going to be myself as well as the Mark Victor Rodriguez discussing all things Batman Forever. Can't wait. We'll be right back. Let's get it started. What's up, UPRE Universe? It's myself, the executive consultant, along with none other than the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Vic, what's going on?
Lynn, I just recently saw this movie, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad I re-saw it.
You're glad you saw it. I thought you would. You know, last week we had like 4 or 5 people on. Week before we had like 4 or 5 people, but then everybody backed out. You know, they got sick or whatever. I don't know what's going on. They didn't want to talk about this. They said this was the it for Batman because they went so campy and so goody good. I don't know how to say it. It wasn't dark enough, but I was in the minority. I'm glad to hear that you said you like to rewatch it because I thought this was actually a very enjoyable Batman movie.
I honestly agree because here's the big. You know what? Now I see why you made that little short video.
You talking about this one?
Because here's the thing, and that's the thing. All right, here's the thing. I mean, and the other thing I liked it. Anyway, I talk too much.
Yo, you stupid man. That shit gets me every time. Anyway, listen. The thing about it is, it came out such a short time after the Michael Keaton stuff that everybody was just pissed about that, honestly. But giving it, and then the other thing is that Val Kilmer, bless his heart, but like I mean, they could have done better, honestly. Like they were trying. I mean, because the whole thing was star-studded, bro. Like comedy, drones, Drew Barrymore, all this fucking shit. Like, I mean, come on, bro. They put money into this thing right here, but in the story, and Jim Carrey, like, come on, man. Like this day, they put money and effort into this. The story was crazy because, I mean, listen. I'm not gonna lie. People that are smart love the Riddler. They really do. Because like he's really one of the most interesting characters in the whole Batman series, and this movie highlights that in a way that you lose sight of, at least that we lost sight of in the past, in my opinion. Because back then we were just upset with the fact that it wasn't as dark as the last 2 movies. It certainly wasn't as dark as the last 2 movies. It was certainly 90s cheese, a ton of 90s cheese, which I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate. I did. But then just at the time, everybody was just mad that it was Val Kilmer. Because, no joke, Val Kilmer sucked in this movie.
Money.
But,
I can't agree with that.
I think he did. And here's the thing. I feel like he was trying to depict Bruce Wayne on TV. Because this whole thing felt, especially, and the thing that broke it all was the blonde.
Nicole Kidman? Chase Moran?
Yes. Man, listen. It was either in the cartoon, it was either Catwoman or some blonde after Bruce Wayne.
Well, it also had to be
And I felt like that whole part of it was super
Talia.
cheesy. I felt like that whole part of it was super cheesy. Honestly, I felt like it was a little bit against his character. But the last thing, because I do talk too much, the one thing that I loved the most was seeing the same Alfred. Loved that. Loved that. I popped for that because it was great. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was just great. It was just great to see him. And mind you, the little things like that, I just didn't notice the last time. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Because I was just so upset, like, it's not Michael Keaton. You know what I'm saying? And I jumped on that bandwagon, and I can understand why a lot of people felt that way. But if you give this movie fresh eyes, honestly, I think it's a good time.
I can't say I agree with you on Val Kilmer. I thought he played a very good Batman. I thought he looked the part better. Not taking anything away from
I'll
Michael
give you
Keaton.
that.
He's one of the best Batmans of all time, if not the best. So I'm not taking anything away from Michael Keaton. But I thought Val Kilmer had the look of Batman a little bit more. Where I think he failed in is that he wasn't a good Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was very flat. Like Michael Keaton played him with a little bit of wit. In the cartoons, he had a little bit of wit, a little bit of swag. But Val Kilmer played him like he was an emotionless robot at times, even when he was trying to seduce Chase Meridian. And I'm like, well, Chase, I don't see outside of money what Bruce Wayne has over Batman. I mean, Val Kilmer was played the type of Bruce Wayne who told a joke, and I was like, oh, was that a joke? I really don't know.
For real. That was, no, unfortunately, the guy was just too dry. I mean, listen, could you imagine Michael Keaton having a little tit for tat with Jim Carrey as Bruce Wayne and Edward Nygma? Come on, man.
He didn't want to.
Bro,
when he saw what
because you know what? I know that you went and got the True Hollywood story on this. So what are the details behind that? Like what happened with Michael Keaton back then? Because I don't really remember.
He was signed on. Okay, so Tim Burton was supposed to direct this one. He got a lot of flack off of Batman Returns because it wasn't as critically acclaimed as the first Batman. People thought there was a lot of issues with it, including myself, who I thought it was a bit too dark at times. It was a good movie, enjoyed it, gave it a thumbs up last week, but a little too dark. They had like one daytime scene. I keep saying that, right? One daytime scene, everything else was at night. So Joel Schumacher came in.
Dark Knight. Come on, hello.
Yeah, well, yeah, but still, it's not just a Batman movie; it's a Batman and Bruce Wayne movie, right? Which is interesting because that's what he says at the end. He says, "I'm both Batman and Bruce Wayne, not because I have to be, because I choose to be." But at the end of the day, so he backed out. Tim Burton backed out. Joel Schumacher was brought aboard, and Joel Schumacher said, "Well, it doesn't have to be this dark." Michael Keaton likes it dark, so he said, "This is not the direction I would want to be a part of, so I would bow out." The funny thing about it is they brought in Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer and Joel Schumacher didn't get along, which is why the next one you have George Clooney. They got into many battles during this movie. So that's funny. That was funny.
So that's why there were so many different Batman. I see.
Correct.
I see. Because I never actually looked into it, but I always wondered why. But ultimately, more than anything, I feel like the story was very good. I really, really, and just going back to what we were discussing before, Jim Carrey, man, just hats off to him for that entire role, and Tommy Lee Jones as well, because man, that whole thing was just incredible. In my opinion, like what they did there, I loved. Honestly, I really did. I thought it was great. I thought the acting with those two, they stole the show, straight up. Like
they definitely stole the show. Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face, I liked him. I liked the character. I thought he was way too over the top with the laughing.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I liked about him, because he's always so serious in all his roles. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I'm always seeing him like in a cowboy hat and on some serious shit, and as a cop, as some fucking somebody up, or as a mobster, or something like that. And he just like was wilding in this thing. So like it's just very out of character for him. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying that everything was just ha ha ha. It was a joke. I didn't get to see the duality enough. I mean, they made jokes about it, but I didn't get to see the duality enough of Two-Face in this Tommy Lee Jones character. And I know he could do it because Tommy Lee Jones is a phenomenal actor. Shout out to him in the Super Bowl commercial. But he is a phenomenal actor, and I know he could do it, but it was all ha 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 ha. I want to kill Batman. I want to kill. It was so one tone and one dimensional for a dual character, so to speak.
That's true.
So I did not particularly care for that, but like I said, he still did very well. He still stole the show for me. Riddler, Jim Carrey, Riddler. He still is, even though I thought he was also a bit campy over the top. The definitive Riddler to me, outside the guy in the '60s. It's just
the guy in the '60s was really good.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now, and it bothers me that I can't because I also think he's a very good actor. But it was really good.
I mean, you know, this kind of just gave me a little bit more love for the character of the Riddler right now, because I became a little nostalgic because the episodes on the cartoon with the Riddler were some of the best, because they made you think. You know, like you're going along with Batman, and the one part that I thought was really accurate in this movie. You know, when it came to that was that every single time that Batman was solving a riddle, Alfred was there, at least 90% of the time. And I really appreciate that.
There's a fun fact that's not public, and it could be me speculating, but I swear it's the truth, and I really wish somebody would go back and say, you know what, Chris, you're right. Right? When they were, and this might actually go a little to my quotes, but I'll cut it out, but one of my favorite scenes actually is when Bruce Wayne wakes up from being, grazed with a bullet after Two-Face shot him. And when he wakes up, he gets all this bad news, right? I thought it was a great scene. I don't know why. It's a subtle thing. That's not what I'm talking about, but I just always want to say that I always thought that was a great scene because he got like a whole bunch of news. He said the cave's been destroyed. Master Dick's run away. They took Jason. It was just funny. Anyway, so then they're sitting down and they're putting together all the clues and trying to figure out, well, what does all of this mean? And somehow, I don't know how they got to it. They decided that because all the riddles has a number in it, it must mean letters of the alphabet. How they got that part, I have no idea. It didn't make sense to me that they thought about that, but that's fine, right? It's a movie. So it was cool. But there was one scene when they realized that 1 and 8 means 18. And when they did that, Val Kilmer turned around to say perhaps 1 and 8 make 18. And I swear to goodness, and I really want somebody to go back and watch that scene and let me know if I'm wrong, but it was no longer Val Kilmer's voice and it was Adam West. I really want somebody to check on that for me because I thought that for years that was Adam West's voice that said perhaps 1 and 8 are 18. It really sounded like Adam West and not Val Kilmer at that second. I think it was supposed to be like a little hush-hush secret joke. But and once again, there's no proof of that online. I've not seen that online. I just really think I heard it. But that's what I have for that. And I also talk about my overall favorite scene. I think that's one of the best ending sequences, especially of a 90s movie, that they could have possibly had. With him getting there and the Riddler being there with Two-Face stood by his side and Riddler's going through this whole soliloquy and to the point where Batman tells a riddle and the two people fall, which Joel Schumacher likes that spot when they're falling and he has to go save somebody or somebody has to, but I thought it was really, really good. Really, really well done.
I agree. There was this spot that I noticed, and I felt like it was a shot to Stan Lee. And I was trying to take a picture of it, and I was trying to find the picture, but I can't find it, unfortunately. Because there was this scene where Two-Face was going into a place to rob everybody, and the first scene that you saw was Excelsior Casino. And you saw this old man holding his hands up. And he had glasses on, and he was holding his hands up here, like he's saying, like, "Here, take all my money." I don't know. I felt like that was a shot to Stan Lee at the time. I never noticed that before. I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know, but
I don't know.
That shit was very fucking telling. And then and mind you, that was the first thing that you saw, and then after that, they cut into the Riddler and Two-Face doing their thing. You know what I mean? If you look back, I noticed that. Like, I really want to find this picture to post it right now. I could have sworn I took a picture of that, but it was just incredible. It really was, because like I was just like, hold up, what the hell? I rewounded it, everything. Like, what's going on over here? Because yeah. You know, and mind you, you know, there's always competition, but you never know how petty things are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we live in a petty world.
Huh?
We live in a petty world.
Oh yeah. That's true. When there's competition, people get real petty. But yeah, man. I mean, in my opinion, I definitely think it is an interesting movie. I certainly enjoyed it. I think that it aged well. I really do. I think that it aged well. I think if you watch it back, you'll definitely be entertained with this movie. And one thing that I did love was just the introduction of Robin, because the tit for tat between those two was pretty interesting. I also like how they threw Nightwing in there. You know, when he was like, "Oh, what are you gonna
go to the names?"
Yeah. I like how they did that. You know, but I really like the tit for tat between them, and how Robin was just pushing his way in the whole time, basically, to become like a superhero. But he pretty much proved it. But honestly, that bathroom scene, I want to learn how to do all that shit. He was in the back. Listen, Alfred was like, "Don't worry about that. Don't worry about all that." He's like, "Listen, Alfred, I'm not used to being kept."
Oh yeah, that was too much.
He started flipping it around and did all of this stuff with socks and then this whole thing and flipped it around his leg and then dried everything and then put it on the thing and took the stick and then put it on the thing. And he walked out and just waked that Alfred. And Alfred's like, okay.
It was really funny when he wrapped the pants thing around his leg and just did like this. All this water came out. I'm like, well, damn, it was that soaked, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's a fast dry. You know, I mean. It's all I'm saying that it's efficient. It's very, very efficient, and I'd like to learn how to do that. You know, I honestly, I even made a GIF out of it, but unfortunately, I'm learning today that 3 megabytes is the limit for GIFs.
Yeah, you gotta find a workaround. Speaking of workarounds,
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Why so serious?
Bond. James Bond.
Show me the money!
quotables, ladies and gentlemen. This movie is full of them, which I think most Batman movies have a whole bunch of quotes in them, and this one was not an exception to the piece. Here's one right here. One man is born a hero, his brother a coward, baby starve, politicians grow fat, holy men are martyred, and junkies grow legion. Why? Luck. Blind, stupid, simple, doodah, clueless luck. This is delivered by Two-Face. This was voices from Randy Orton's theme song before voices from Randy Orton's theme song ever existed, but he delivered it very, very good. Here's one from Riddler to Two-Face. Your entrance was good. His was better. This one was a very well-delivered line for that movie. I use this all the time. When Two-Face saw the Batman survive and he started crying, and Riddler just said, "That's just what I said. I say that all the time. Trust me." I love that line. I'm going to need that hand back, Ed. That's something else I use when somebody's shaking my hand too long. Don't shake hands now. It's COVID. I do that. And like I said, I like the whole ending sequence and the whole ending soliloquy of Riddler. Anyway, I just thought it was very, very edge of your seat of an ending. Soon my little box will be on countless TVs around the world, feeding me credit card numbers, bank code, sexual fantasies, and little white lies. Into my head they'll go. Victory is inevitable because of knowledge is power. Then a God am devoiced I. And the first time I saw that in the movie theater, I was like, "Oh no, they turn you into a demon? What's going on?" So it was just good. Before Batman says, "What I see, what I've seen." To me, darkness is as clear as daylight. When am I? Like I said, it was just a really good movie. And what I want to talk more about in the final, well, I'll talk about it in the final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Did you have any quotes, Vic?
Wait, there was one that was good. Let me think. I don't have anything prepared. Sorry. But there was a lot of them. You know, I figured you were gonna say. I mean, you just said like 40 of them. So
I was trying not to say the whole script. It was a lot of them in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey had a lot of freaking quotes, and it was pretty good. You know, I mean, the funniest one was when the guy was falling down when his first kill, and the guy was going down, and he was just like, "Ugh, gonna have to settle for the bronze."
Yeah, nice form, but a little rough on the landing. He may have to settle on the bronze. Questions.
I was like, oh man, you know, here's the truth. I cannot wait to see Sonic 2.
Well, I was about to say that's kind of random, but yeah, I forgot he's in it. He's the villain.
No, I mean, listen, Jim Carrey as a bad guy is just come on, bro. It's laughs for days, man. And mind you, Jim Carrey in this movie was 90s Jim Carrey, like Ace Ventura Jim Carrey. This was just a ball of laughs, man. Like this was just hilarious.
Even when he was destroying the Batcave, he was making it just a funny bit.
Mm-hmm.
I give you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue the Batman franchise next Tuesday. Find out what movie is that, and find out what movie we're going to be reviewing on Thursday. Stick with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
911, where's your emergency?
Oh no!
911, where's your emergency?
Do not hurt that little girl. You don't have to do this.
It's already done. It's already done.
It's the same man.
All right, everyone, chill.
I'm poison. Poison ivy.
And the only man who can stop them.
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
Can't do it alone.
And you are?
Batgirl.
That's not awfully PC. What about Bat Person?
Found the Batcave.
She knows who we are.
Guess we just have to kill her.
We're going to need a bigger cave.
Batman and Robin.
The beginning. That's the beginning of PC culture.
The end of that particular brand of the franchise ends with Batman and Robin. We're going to talk more about that next week. This movie was so hated in the world that they canceled the immediate Batman 5 they had planned. And they had waited 8 years to reboot the franchise. That's how bad it did in the movie theater. But we'll talk about it next week. But right now, we're reviewing Batman Forever. Let's get into our final thoughts. Vic, thumbs up, thumbs down. What you think?
Thumbs up all day. I enjoyed this movie. This movie was a great time. In my opinion, anything with Jim Carrey is a good time. I feel like he probably has like maybe 2 bad movies because the guy is just hilarious. He stole the show. Everybody was looking great. Oh, wait a minute. Daddy, how come you don't look that good in the suit? The fact that he said that's one of the finest women in America at the time, Drew Barrymore, was hilarious.
Shut up.
That was freaking great. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, just thumbs up all day. Sorry that I drugged that up because I do talk too much, but it is okay. I
didn't mention enough about Nicole Kidman, throwing herself at Batman a few times. I just thought it was really good and really seductive, especially the one where she did it when she had the bat signal. Like, wow.
He says the bat signal is not a beeper. I was rolling.
They wanted you to know it wasn't the same Batman off the break when he said, "Can I persuade you to take a sandwich?" And he said, "I'll get drive-through." Then you knew it was not the same Batman. Not at all. But it gets a thumbs up from me because, like I said, even though most people I know actually prefer Batman Returns over Batman Forever, I am in that minority. I prefer this one, and the only reason is, and this is not taking anything away from Batman Returns, but I talk about this a lot on this show. This is why Becky got a thumbs up for me. It was a fun movie. When I go see a movie, I like to have fun a lot more times than I like to, be like all into it because it's like so powerful or something. That's why I don't see a lot of Oscar movies. I like to watch. I like to have fun. And Batman and Forever was a fun movie. A lot more fun, than Batman and Robin, which was great. Enjoyed it, but not as fun, in my opinion, as this movie, Batman Forever, from beginning to end, it was just a lot of fun. A lot of good performances. It's a good time.
See, the thing, I feel like Batman 1 and 2 is one movie. This is a one-off.
And Batman and Robin is actually really closely related to this movie. They had a lot of scenes in Batman and Robin that they just redid from here.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see.
I can show you. I can prove right now. I'm gonna prove right now. Look at the trailer one more time. And see if you see any similarity.
All right, everyone, chill.
I'm poison. Poison ivy.
And the only man who...
Boom, I'll stop right there. How many times he's gonna come crashing through a damn ceiling like that?
Facts. But yeah.
And like I said, the ending sequence, a spoiler alert, the ending sequence is 3 people like fall into their death and Batman has to save them. Like that's the same thing that happened in Batman and Robin. That's what I said.
But my thing is storyline wise, like these things are one-offs. Like, look, at the end of this movie, you see Jim Carrey flapping around in Arkham, talking about how he's the Batman. Maybe eventually they kind of leave it like a tit for tat. Maybe eventually might go, you know what I mean? Like the way that Woody Harrelson ended in Venom 1. You know what I'm saying? Like that, all crazy. Kind of making you leave like, all right, maybe he could come back. But then there's drama in the background, and now Jim Clooney got to take the Batman. You know what I mean? I feel like these things are one-offs, and the Batman that we're gonna do like 2 weeks from now, that's when the shit starts getting popping again. Like,
Batman Begins was also one of my favorite movies. Batman usually
that's when the shit starts getting. That's when it's not like this. Because the thing is that and I appreciate it because I'm a Zennial, of course. But like it's 90s cheese. At the time, we didn't have all this CGI. You didn't have all this cool stuff. Look, the Batmobile, the fucking Nightwing thing, the thing in the sea. It was the cartoon in live video. Everybody went. Mind you, how much money did it make? I'm surprised you didn't mention that.
Batman Forever made $185 million in the box office.
What was the cost?
That I don't know. I'll let you know in a second.
So, in my opinion, hey, if they, I got a feeling they doubled and tripled their money. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it was worth it. I was certainly entertained by this movie once again.
As I said, fun fact: this movie made more money than Batman and Robin.
Look at that.
Okay, so it cost $100 million to make. It made $184 million United States, $336 million worldwide. Also, make sure that you remember this was in the 90s where movies were a lot cheaper than they are right now. So you add inflation to it.
Listen, $20, 2 tickets, popcorn, you were good.
Yeah,
and soda. And so,
well, I went to go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Guess how much that ticket cost me? $17 bucks. Of course, I had to go buy
here's
some
virtual thing. Now, you're lucky if you could finish the movie because now you get a reclining chair. There's a little table. You got a menu now at the movies. Now, you know what I mean? They do everything so you don't download nothing. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy now. The movies is a trip, but you spend about $120. Honestly, that's what you do. We got it. You know what I mean? Be ready. Be ready. You know what I'm saying? Be ready.
Yeah, movie's not a cheap date anymore.
Hell no, not in this century. No, that's a last century thing. Like a typewriter.
They go dinner and a movie was always the most simple date, but you can't do that shit now. In some places, especially here, your movie is the dinner because they will serve you food at the theater. It's one of the reasons why I like going to Disney's. I always had nice dinner and a meal. And movie, you walk out spending about $120.
I mean, it's nice. It's an experience, but you're certainly not going every week. But then at the same time, they do have like those things now where like, you know, you pay $20 a month and then you can see like 3 movies and then you go and then the seat in the uncomfortable seats and then you can watch a movie and like in between. You know what I mean? They have those things. But then they also have like, you know, like you can go cheap and you can go bougie. You know what I mean? But the thing is that if you go cheap, then you know you're gonna pay $10 for a cup of soda.
Right. Except for I don't drink soda. But even a bottle of water is like $4 or $5. It's terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us here tonight. Talked about Batman Forever. We're going to get down to our countdown. We're not going to be able to finish this entire franchise by the time Batman comes out, because I think Batman comes out March 4th, which is in the week after next. And I think we will just be finishing The Dark Knight that week. So we still have The Dark Knight Rises. So anyway, we'll figure it out. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us. Please sure that you join us on Thursday as we review The Call. And on next Tuesday, we go Batman and Robin, very controversial movie. We don't even see Batgirl around. But anyway, for the Mark Victor Rodriguez, I'm the executive consultant. We will see you next time right here on Popular Review. Good night, everybody.